welcome to DOREEN'S African Experiences. So like I promised you last time, I'm going to discuss with you a couple of things that you need to ask or you must know before you buy a fully complete house. Yeah, you know, those people who are dreaming of buying their dream house, and this goes for land as well. For land is a little bit different, I talked about it, but these things could also work for the land as well, but it's best if it's for the house. So if you plan on buying a house, you need to ask yourself these questions. It's important. The first question, of course, it's a question of money. How much money do you have? Yeah, so first look at your pocket, look at what you can afford, and take a look around and find out if you can afford a certain house. Yeah, and then don't just look at one house. I mean, this is another point. Yeah, when you're browsing, don't just look at one house, always look at more than one house. It's important because that way you could be able to have a variety to choose from, you know. And the other point that you should look out for, or you should know, is find out when. Find out when the house was built. It's very important. Why? Now, just like fashion, houses have trends. Now, these trends are not just about design. There are trends about construction material. There comes a time where certain times people were building houses and in their foundations they were not putting steel bars. Yeah, then there was a time when people were building houses and they were using a certain type of cement. Yeah, and then there were times when people were using certain types of bricks. That's why it's very important for you to ask, when was the house built? When you know the year in which the house was built, you can trace the house back to the material that was mostly used at the time, instead of listening to hearsay. You know, it's always important to do your own research, do your own digging. Now the other thing, it comes down to material, what type of bricks were used, what were the measurements used during the construction of this particular house. You see, buying a house is not all about fashion. Oh, it's a beautiful house, honey. There is more to a house than design, physical appearance, painting, what. There is more to a house. Yeah. And the other thing you should take a look out for is, what are the important things to you? For example, you need a hospital. Does this house, is it located in an area where you can easily access a hospital? It's important. You think it's a joke, but it's important. Also look out for if the hospital is not immediate. Yeah, how far is it? Because you could be caught up in a life and death situation one of these times, and you could be stuck and you could lose your life. Why? Because you had to travel a long distance to access a hospital. And you've heard of stories of people saying, oh no, he or she died on the way to the hospital. Chances of that are very high that these people are coming a long distance. So keep that in mind. At least if there is no major hospital, there should be a health clinic that is well equipped. Yeah. The other thing is, what is the security like in this particular area? Because you could buy a beautiful house in a area which has the worst security. You've heard of places when someone says, oh, you're going to this place, you say, yeah, oh no, don't go there at night, there are thieves. You hear that. It's very important that you know this information. What is the security like? You know, you people don't just buy a house. Don't just buy a house because, oh, it's pretty. No, that's not how they buy a house, you know. And you should visit this house at least more than once. The first time when you're with the broker or the owner, and the second time do your own surprise visit. Yeah. The other thing is, visit at hours these people don't advise you to visit. Why? Because chances are when someone tells you, oh no, don't come at 2, they give you a lame reason. Always go at 2, or go at hours when these people least expect you, because there could be something going on, yeah, in this place, in this area, and of course not in the middle of the night, you know. Some houses have issues, some locations have serious issues. You could be there, but you're next to a club that is so loud, and one of the reasons why they are selling is because the place is too loud and they can't take it anymore. So now they're selling it to you, and you've come to pay a visit at hours where there is no noise, and then you buy a house, move in, and discover, oh my god, this place is so loud, I cannot sleep, my kids can't sleep. Nothing like that. The other thing, you should always look out for basic necessity schools. We already talked about hospitals. If you have kids, you must also at least know that there is a school your kid can go to in this area, in case, you know, in case you don't want to, you cannot afford to take your kid transport wise very far on a constant basis. The other thing you can also look at is, do they have electricity? How is the electricity? What's the electric situation? You know, some people have electricity, but then it's illegal. What are you going to do about it? So do a little bit of research about all these things, you know, on your own. And also find out the actual owner of this house. Don't talk to brokers. I always say this, and I say it again and again. A broker's job is to broker you a deal, to bring you to the owner, you know. So this is what happens. You meet a broker. The broker's job is to look for a buyer. When a broker finds a buyer, the broker connects the buyer to the seller. But most brokers will not connect you to the seller. They themselves want to complete the deal. Why is that? Because they have money at stake, a lot of money. You find out that you negotiate with someone, but still you'll still be within their money, not the right money for which the property costs. Also look around the area and find out what similar property, how much they cost, because you will spend a lot of money today in something and you want to sell it and later discover that you sold it for so much, because in your particular area all property that's even better than yours are going for less. See, that's a loss. That means you have to wait for a little bit longer, more years to sell. Yeah, these things are very important. And you, because I say this and I say it again, do not negotiate to buy with a broker. Always look for the owner, the person whose name is on the deed. That's the owner. If they are dead, then the person who took over. Don't negotiate with the kids of the owner, with the relatives of the owner, with the friends of the owner, with the broker. Negotiate with the broker, or rather, sorry, with the owner, because you will be shocked, you will be surprised, you will be disappointed, and you will be sad, because there's some people who come and deny and say, we don't know this guy. This is one of the things that happen all the time. Yeah, paint does not make a house. Yes, it beautifies the house. Certain things make a house. The make of the house, what was put in the house, how strong is the foundation, you know. And also these people who are still building houses and putting soil bricks in the ground. The world is changing, the universe is changing, the weather is changing. Certain things don't work anymore. These soil bricks, yes, they'll build your house, but in such a short time your house will start getting serious problems, you know. Please understand how to build and what to build with. Construction is expensive. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be the richest person, but construction is expensive. Everything that consumes money and does not bring back profit is consuming. It's a liability, but it's a necessity. Yes? So anyway, that's all I had to say about that. If you have more questions, DM me, ask in the comments below. I always leave my my WhatsApp, sorry, my email address in the description below, so you can mail me, you know, you email me and ask me your different questions and I'll be answering them. Alright, so we're plastered. Before you plaster, you need the usual equipment. These people come with their good mirror, the thing that does the good mirror. They come with it. So you need plaster, sand, and cement. Cement of your choice. The mix is basically 3-to-1, maximum 4-to-1, but I don't advise for more because then you'd have to do more layers. The thickness should be about 1 inch. That's the thickness of the plaster, 1 inch. Now, how do you know? Sometimes you just see. If you still see the bricks, then you have to do another layer. Then we moved on to painting. Now, painting, yeah, the people will tell you what they need, but of course they need those rollers, as you can see him. And then you need the basins where they mix from, and they must wash everything after every paint. Don't allow them to go home or to go wherever they're sleeping without washing these things, because paint sticks, and when it sticks, it's a problem. Inside the house, especially the walls that you're using next to you, just paint silk, any paint you prefer, but silk. It should be vinyl silk or silk. Yeah, the people selling no. Why? Because it can be wiped. You can clean it up without hassle. And then the lower side near the foundation, you need filler, of course. Filler levels up and it gives you more ground. And when they are painting, they should at least use 2 hands. Yeah, 2 hands or 2 layers of minimum of undercoat. Yeah, whichever company you choose. I also advise that you don't mix water into these things. But I was told that in case you choose to mix water, it shouldn't be more than 1.5 liters maximum per 20 liters. Yeah, but you shouldn't do it because then it gives you more work. It means you're going to buy a little bit more paint than you should have bought in the first place. And you need to cover up anything that can be affected by paint, especially the windows and doors if you have them, the glass, and even the ground. Yeah, cover them up because it's for your own good. Then you don't have to incur further costs about fixing the mess that's left behind. Also, get highly equipped and trained people. It's very important. When you get someone who knows what they're doing, they'll give you a good job. And they'll best advise you on what to do. Yeah? And if you're painting outside, the reason why most people are using slats and any kind of stones or slats, yeah, is to avoid damage to the ground or the foundation of the house. Yeah, that's all. Alright, thanks for watching. Yeah? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'm still promoting a YouTube channel. Yes. Someone said, your channel equally is young, but you're promoting a new channel. I said, there is no end to which we must understand as African people. There is no end to which we must get knowledge. There is no way we can wake up and say, I've had enough. There is no enough. When it comes to learning, we learn every day. Knowledge is passed on every day. So please go subscribe to the channel in my description below. I'm going to put a link. Go subscribe to it and subscribe to my channel as well, and enjoy knowledge about you as a black man or a black woman or a black child. You must know who you are, the true you. Your history defines you. People say your past doesn't define you, but that's I'm telling you, that's a joke. People who say that are people who don't know much about life, you know. Because let me give you an example. You could have killed somebody, yes? For you serve your crime, you come back out of jail, but forever, no matter what you do, yes, it's important that you change from those ways, those murderous ways. But some people will not forget. Yeah, they will not forget. Say, that's the guy who killed so and so. See, your history is going to define you. In the Western world, people won't even give you a job because you have a record. That's why you know your history defines you. Someone will look at your criminal record and say, oh, you cannot fly to this country if you have a criminal offense or record. You cannot These are some of the ways society is teaching you to stay in line. In some ways, of course, if you're innocent, you were convicted innocently, I'm sorry, it's not fair. That's why if you in a situation like that, you should always change society. A different place could treat you better. I believe so, I assume, I hope so. Anyway, please like, subscribe to both my channel and the channel in the description below. And thanks for watching. But please, let's stay educated, let's stay knowledgeable, and I hope you have a nice week ahead.